us on the news briefing for this Wednesday. We're going to get started with a discussion on what is happening in Pajaro and post-flood Pajaro. We were hoping to get someone from our Department of Emergency Management. They're not yet on the call, so I'm hoping that our friend Tiana from FEMA will start us off with information about what is coming up in terms of deadlines for flood victims and other information from FEMA. Hi, Tiana.
Hi, good afternoon, everybody. I guess I'm going first today. So I would like to show you guys just a little bit that we are still open. Let me walk over here to the front, show you guys. We are still open. We are open until further notice. Here we are here, we're all open, still here. And we're open till further notice. We will be closed on Monday for the holiday, but we'll open back the following day. When they tell us when this DRC and the one in Ocean Street closes, I'll definitely keep you guys updated. As far as the numbers go, we have over $2 million in individual household programs monies approved, and over 1,400 registrations. Of course, that number is continuously ongoing as we continue to get new registrants here. So that's pretty much it here. Just wanted to show you guys that we're still here for the foreseeable future until they let us know otherwise. If you have any questions, just let me know.
Yes, thank you very much. And go ahead and please put questions for Tiana or anyone else in the chat. Thanks very much for starting us off on short notice, Tiana. We also have Marielli, Carty from SBA. We will bring you, we always like to have you guys together. Marielli, can you tell us what is happening with SBA out in Pajaro?
Hello, everybody. Yes, of course, Maya, as always. Okay. I will start with apologizing because I think I gave you some other numbers last week. I'm not sure, but I'm guessing. And if I did, I'm so sorry. I apologize because of that. But today I will give you the correct numbers. So, okay, let's start. For Monterey County, we have received 24 home loan applications. And we have received 14 business loan application, and for EIDL loan application, we have received 17 EIDL loan application. EIDL is for economic injury, and business loan application is for physical damage. In total, we have received 55 applications for Monterey County. And we have approved $1.5 million just for Monterey County. And we have received 863 referrals from FEMA up to date. And as Tiana said, we're still open in Pajaro Park. We'll, of course, we will be closed on Memorial Day. And we'll resume next Tuesday at 9. So yes, we are going to be open until further notice. As soon as the information change, I will let you know. So thank you so much, I appreciate it. Okay, so Maya, I will say the same information in Spanish, okay? Okay. Para el condado de Monterrey, hemos recibido 24 aplicaciones. Ok, voy a empezar disculpándome por la información si he dicho alguna información incorrecta anteriormente, pero esta información es de información correcta y verdadera. Igual, para el condado de Monterrey hemos recibido 24 aplicaciones de propietarios, hemos recibido 14 aplicaciones de negocio, hemos recibido 17 aplicaciones de EIDL o para daños o pérdidas económicas. En total, el condado de Monterrey ha recibido 55 solicitudes. Se han aprobado 1.5 millones de dólares solamente para el condado de Monterrey. Hemos recibido 863 referidos de parte de FEMA. Y bien importante, el DRC de Pajaro Park va a estar cerrado para el Memorial Day, que es el próximo lunes, y vamos a volver a las labores nuevamente el próximo martes a las 9 de la mañana. El TRC del Pájaro Park va a estar abierto hasta nuevo aviso. Tan pronto la información cambie, yo me voy a comunicar con ustedes y estoy segura que mi compañera Tiana también. Muchas gracias. Thank you so much, Maya. Thank you, team.
Thank you, Tiana, and thank you, Marielli, very much for keeping us up to date on the statistics and the data and that good information coming for Pajaro residents. We are very pleased to have someone with us that was not initially on our agenda, but we were thrilled that she was able to join us. We have Zulieka Boyton with the Housing Authority. The county has many partners that are working together to assist residents who are impacted by flooding, and housing is a major issue. And Zulieka, I'm really pleased that you could join us today to talk about what the Housing Authority is doing to assist those residents.
Okay, hey, good morning, everybody. I would like to start by saying that we do have some residents that are in Pajaro that are already on our HCV program, and we have assisted them with getting stable housing back to either the landlords they were with before or new opportunities. But the Housing Authority has recently accepted a preference for a natural disaster. We put it in place to try to address the Pajaro and some other issues. So for natural disaster area DR 4638 CA and DR 4699 CA, we will be opening our waiting list, and anyone in those affected areas will be able to apply. They will get natural disaster preference points, and we're going to open it up, and we hope to assist at least 250 families. So we're working with the counties so they can help the residents, you know, to fill out the paperwork, to do the application correctly. Once we get it, we're gonna open it probably for like a week or two, and then we'll do a lottery. So everybody that applies, if it exceeds the 250 number, we will do a lottery, and then the computer will pick the 250 people that we'll bring in to actually help serve. We have to do it like that so that we can show that we diversify the pool of people, especially since we're doing a natural disaster preference. I've been working with Roxanne to try to get some type of event to coordinate it, because I want to release the waiting list at the same time that everyone is able to help to ensure these families are able to apply. The only thing that we looked at that possibly could be an issue is documentation, because they say we have a lot of undocumented households, but the Housing Authority can assist mixed families. So if one person in the household is documented, then the family can qualify. And what happens is, based on the family composition and the family income, their assistance is prorated. And so that's the amount of funding that they'll have to help them find somewhere to stay using the housing voucher. So we just hope it can be helpful. Don't know, you know, how many people will actually be able to assist, but we hope to assist up to 250 families.
That is just really great news and a great opportunity for those residents. Now, you talked about the application. What do these residents need to know to be able to apply or find out more information?
Well, the application is like a preliminary application. So we're going to do an announcement. It'll be on the news and do a press release to let them know that the waiting list is open. And at the same time, I'm hoping that maybe we'll be out on site along with the county and people like that, so that we can actually help them with the application. But they'll just need to have like their some type of identification, you know, social security cards, birth certificates, stuff like that, to put all the information in the system. And then after the selection is completed, they will actually provide those documents so that we can make their family eligible, even if it does have to be a mixed family household. So just the regulars. Yes, ma'am.
So you were saying also that some of the residents who are affected, is very fortunate that you're already connected to them. And are you able to help them in this way or in another way?
Well, they already were voucher recipients. So we reached out, we did some case management with them, and we expedited getting them back into a home that was quality standard for the program. So they are back in the units, housed, and they no longer need our assistance. They just continue to be on the housing voucher program so that we pay part of their rent for them each month. We're hoping a lot of landlords will help with this too, because with mixed families, we can't give them the normal payment standard because of the documentation issue. So sometime if it's a 1-bedroom and normally we could pay $3,000 for them, maybe we only able to pay, and this is just an estimate, just say $2,000 or $1,500. So we really need some landlords who will kind of work with us so that the families that are able to receive assistance, if that is the criteria they fit, they still will be able to find housing.
So there's really a call out to landlords to say, let's step up and let's help these residents. What should landlords know about participating in a program like this?
It's really easy. They come to us, they sign up with the W-9. We make our payments automatically. Anybody who's a voucher holder, we take up to 30% of their income, and then that's the portion of the rent they would pay. Some people don't even pay rent. They are able to get utility checks so that we can help pay their PG&E and bills like that. And then the housing authority automatically sends the landlord the payments each month by the 5th for whatever portion of the rent we're responsible for. And if the persons, because some people worry about damage, they're like, I get a person, they tear up my unit, what's going to happen? If they report that to the housing authority, we can work with them to make sure that they are able to recapture the funds that the repairs would cost before that family is able to move on. So it's just as long as we have good communication, we can make sure things like that don't happen.
How should landlords get in touch about this program, about participating?
They can go to our website. It's www.hamonterey.org. We have a portal on there that they can contact us by email, or they can just email to our Section 8 department. It's I think it's Section 8 it's Section 8 at hamonterey.org. But I can get that and send that to this group to make sure that I got the correct email address.
Thank you very much. Is there anything else that residents and landlords and the public should know about this program?
The two things that I'm really glad about, we were able to increase our payment standard so we can go up to 120%, which means we can reduce the rent burden on the tenants because we're able to pay much more of the rent. And we just recently changed our occupancy guidelines. So now the head of household and their partner have 1 bedroom, but every other family member can qualify for their own bedroom. They do not have to share, but we can have a maximum of 2 people. So it allows the family that, like if it's a 3-family household, they can actually have a 3-bedroom unit.
That's great. Thank you so much, Zulieka, for dropping in. I know it was very short notice. This is great. This is a great program and great assistance for residents. We appreciate you being here.
You're welcome. Thank you for having me.
And now we'd like to have our colleague, Kershner from the Workforce Development Board to talk about another event that has just been announced for Pajaro, a job fair that is really directed at residents who are hard hit by the flood. Hi, Laura.
Hi, Maya. Thank you so much for having me.
So tell us about the job fair.
Thank you. It will be Wednesday, June 7th. We're delighted to team up with the County of Monterey as well as our partnering Santa Cruz County Workforce Development Board to offer a job fair for impacted residents in Pajaro. We'll be on Wednesday, June 7th at Our Lady of the Assumption Church at 100 Salinas Road in Pajaro. And the job fair will go from 1 to 4 p.m. We're anticipating hosting at least 20 employers on site. I've put everything in the chat right next to us. We've got a flyer for it, both in English and Spanish, as well as the press release. We want to invite our friends in the media to please share the information, help us out to spread the word about the event. My understanding is we've already had 5 employers sign up. So we're hoping that this will be very well attended, and we appreciate everybody's help in putting it together on kind of short notice. It's going to be a good event. The church is a focal point in the area, and we anticipate that their parishioners will also help get the word out about the event. So again, it will be Wednesday, June 7th, Our Lady of the Assumption Church, 100 Salinas Road in Pajaro, from 1 to 4 p.m. We think that will be an optimal time, and please spread the word.
Thank you very much. Are we still looking for employers to participate? Or
yes, ma'am. We are, in fact, thank you. We're inviting people to contact my colleague, Diego Angiano, and the phone number is right here in the press release. It's 831-597-4375, or they can contact me and I'll put them in touch with Diego. I'm at 831-796-3341. And we're lining up employers specifically that are currently hiring. It's not a marketing event per se. It is for those that actually have jobs so that we can bring both employers and job seekers together. This is all about a hiring event so that we can introduce them and we can put people back to work and spur the economy back to where we need to be. So again, Wednesday, June 7th, Our Lady of the Assumption Church, 100 Salinas Road, 1 to 4 p.m. in Pajaro.
Thank you so much, Laura, for coming on short notice. This is
Certainly.
really an exciting program.
Thank you so much for having me.
And we now want to bring on our colleague Marni Flagg from Environmental Health. Among the post-flooding issues for residents are concerns about pests. And some residents have been concerned that there might be pests. And Laura is here to talk about, Marni is here to talk about what can be done. Hi, Marni.
Hi, everyone. Your neighborhood health inspector's back to show you things about rats today. So sometimes I have food pictures. Today we're going with rats. So the most two common rats we have in the area are the roof rats and the Norway rats. And nobody likes either one of them. So today, let's learn about rats 101. There's a lot to get to know about these little critters so that you can combat them in your neighborhoods. So they actually do serve a purpose here in Monterey County. They're scavengers and opportunistic eaters. They will eat garbage and other things that people throw away, and they're part of the predatory ecosystem. Owls, falcons, hawks, and other predatory animals, they feed on rats. And that's a little key thing that we want to keep in the back of our minds for later. The animal ecosystem is a very delicate balance. So losing an element in it, it can be detrimental to the entire system. So losing the rats, we could have problems with our owls, our hawks, and lizards, reptiles, and snakes as well, because they also feed on rats. Rats bite, as we all know, and they do carry some infectious diseases. Hantavirus, that is in rat urine. So if you have a rat infestation and they've been urinating everywhere, you do need to have that cleaned up because it'll dry and turn into dust. And that can be very dangerous to inhale. Rat bite fever, you can get that by touching a rat or being bitten by a rat. Salmonella, we like that in our chicken, but we can also get it from rats because they wander around kitchens and anywhere where raw food is, so they can just pick that on up and transfer that all over the place. And then there's something called leptospirosis, which is a bacterial disease, not as common, but it can cause fever and chills. And that is a super dangerous bacterial disease, and it can sometimes be fatal, and it can be caused by rats. We also have fleas and ticks, and they can carry certain diseases, but rats also harbor those. So we want to keep them away. And, you know, rats have very powerful jaws, strong teeth. They can chew through anything. Those teeth just grow. So they have to chew to keep those teeth under control. They can chew through wood, the siding on your house. I've even seen rat bites on stone and cement. And they can make themselves super small, and they can get through any hole that they can chew. Rats can swim, guys. This is the stuff that nightmares are made of. Rats can swim in the sewers and come up sewer pipes. I'm going to leave that there. But yes, they can swim through pipes. They can climb. So they can climb up vines and trellises, and they're very adept with those little paws that they have. So let's talk about how to suppress these rats, right? There's a lot of different ways. The physical way, that's a trap. You have electric traps, you have those spring traps. So set your traps, watch your traps. Electric traps are really fun. You know, those work really quick and easy to dispose of. Then we have biological ways to get rid of rats, and that's a living predator. So we have our cats, barn cats, the SPCA, and sometimes other organizations, they have barn cats that you can adopt and put on your property, and use snakes. And there you go, you're contributing to the ecosystem. And then we have the chemical elimination ways. Poison, there's things that you can feed a rat to make them sterile so they can't reproduce, but we never encourage chemical means to get rid of rats. These harm other animals, they harm small children, they harm a lot of other beings in the ecosystem. So if you're using a chemical means, please be sure that you're reading the instructions and you understand what the chemical poison is doing in the environment. Because if you're feeding a rat poison and a barn owl eats that rat, you may kill the barn owl. So, you know, we always ask for other methods before chemical. But here's the easiest way, and this is what we want to see in the Pajaro community. This is what's going to do the long term, the environmental measures. What everyone needs to survive in the wild is food, water, and shelter, and that's the same for a rat. So you want to eliminate any water sources around any buildings so they have nothing to drink. You want to eliminate food. So any garbage, you want to make sure that the lid is secure. Any fruit trees that you have, you don't want that fruit on the ground because those rats are just going to be like, hey, buffet. So have them all cleaned up. Any dropped fruit, have that away from the perimeter of buildings, and just make sure that any garbage is properly contained. And then finally, you really need to eliminate the places for them to live. Any low bushes that are really dense, the rats really, they're nocturnal. So during the day, they're going to be in those spaces where they're safe. So if you can really eliminate vines, thick bushes, those hedges, they're not going to have any place for shelter. So take away those three things, you've taken away all of their need to be around, they're going to go find somewhere else to live. So that is really how easy it is to prevent rats from being where we want to live, because we have everything that they want. So if you can take those preventative measures and clear out the environment, that's how it's going to happen. So my contact information was up there. If you need any help, or, you know, contact a pest organization. They can help you seal up the outside of your house to prevent them from getting inside. And then just take those tips and tricks for the outside and you'll be good to go. Thanks, Maya.
No, thank you. And I think we want people to know that this is really preventative information that we're trying to get out, because residents have been concerned, but you have not been made aware of any infestations as of yet. And this is what we're trying to prevent.
Correct. And, you know, it gets really difficult depending on the seasons. You know, we have really, really dry times. The rats will come because people have dog bowls outside their houses, and then we have a lot of rats outside. Then we have a real rainy season like we've just had, and it's like, oh my gosh, you guys, the rats love that because the planters are full of water, so the rats come out. And these guys, they're just really, they may not look it, but they're kind of intelligent, and they really just know how to seek out what they need, and then they just set up shop.
It's great information, and this information, is, I understand, is being shared, you know, through our people on the ground in Pajaro, and you know, we want to help them. Part of recovery is keep going forward, not backwards, right? Right.
And you know, and these guys, they're here, they're everywhere, but they like to come out at night. And so during the day, when we don't see them, we're not really thinking about them. But when we see them during the day, then you know there really is a big problem, because that means there's a real lot of them and they can't all fit together where they live. So some of them are getting kicked out to scout out new places.
Thank you, Marni. Thank you very much. Even though it's not always entirely a pleasant topic, it's very important.
That's what I'm here for. You guys need the hard hitting things, and you know, environmental health is here to help get you through.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it. And that is going to wrap up the Pajaro topic section of our news briefing. So we're going to move on to some other topics, and we're going to start with tourism. the storms are behind us, thank goodness, and we're looking ahead to the traditional beginning of the tourism season here on the peninsula and the rest of the county. And the last few years have been challenging, and we've invited some folks in to talk about what is going well, where the challenges still remain for tourism. We have Rob O'Keefe with our Monterey County Convention and Visitors Bureau, and Janine Chicourrat from the Portola Hotel and Spa to share information with us. Good afternoon, Rob and Janine. I think
Hi.
Rob will start with you.
Thank you. Thanks for the opportunity. Good afternoon, everybody. That's a tough presentation to follow.
Sorry about that.
The rats, I'm a little, but I will carry through. Yeah, so just to give you kind of an update of where we've been and where we're going. Obviously, as we know, and we've been talking about, the year was off to a pretty tough start. You know, a lot of times we compare ourselves to 2019, but in the first quarter of this year, really March and April took the brunt from a tourism standpoint. We were down compared to last year. And it was obviously the storms had the impact there. During the storms, of course, hospitality stepped up with dozens of hotels providing evacuee rates, providing or lifting pet policies, because you can't leave your house without your pet because they're part of the family, and our hoteliers know that. And then also donating a variety of products for those impacted in Pajaro. So we're kind of with the storm and still lingering impacts from COVID-19, in particular with our meetings and conventions markets, which is very valuable travel, and international not being back yet. Made for a really, not an imperfect storm in a way that puts us in a situation where, for every 2 steps we take forward, we end up having to take 1 step back. But we're getting there, and we wouldn't be getting there and recovering as we are if we weren't working as collaboratively with the county, the other jurisdictions that we work with, and of course the hospitality community. 2022, just a broad view of overall tourism spending was a little over $3 billion. Now, we will compare that to 2019, where we're over $3.2 billion. So we're not back to pre-COVID levels, but hotel revenue actually surpassed 2019. Who's really been taking the hit have been the smaller businesses, restaurants, arts and recreations, retail sales. Those are all still below. And a lot of times those are smaller owner-operated businesses that need the marketing that we do and need the market to come back, which we're working on. So we still got a lot of work to do, but we're getting there. The upcoming weekend, I think everybody knows we have Cali Roots, which is great. It's a big weekend for us overall because it's Memorial Day, but Cali Roots adds an extra element to it. Cali Roots last year in incremental visitor spending, because we had Cali Roots, we had over $15 million of additional visitor spending from outside the county. So that's a big event that we're very happy to have and build on. And then looking forward into the coming year and beyond, it's coming back. We are making great strides with meetings and conventions. We're doing more things in further out markets. One of the challenges we have is that we are very dependent on the drive market. The drive market is absolutely important to us. But a lot of times the people who are coming in from, say, Fresno or Sacramento or in the Central Valley, they're bringing their food and beverage spend in their cooler, right? So you see that impact with restaurants. They're not getting the business that they need to get. So we're reaching out to further markets. We're working very closely with the airport to increase people who are flying in. They generally stay longer, do more, and spend more, which we all like. And they do something else that we all like. They don't bring their cars. So we are focused on these new markets, and they're coming back. And obviously, responsible travel, sustainability as it relates to travel is very important to us. If you drive in from the Bay Area, anytime between now and the midsummer, you will likely go by one of our new billboards that we're running travel responsible advertising on. We haven't done this in the past. We're able to do it because of the investment that the county made in responsible tourism through ARPA. So we're using those dollars in part to make sure people are educated before they get here and we do a variety of things other than billboards, but the billboards are a big part of it. We're getting a lot of feedback from that, a lot of positive feedback, and we're putting billboards up in LA now. And then when people get here, they're going to see outdoor advertising on MST buses. So you'll see that around town in the next week or so to remind people to be responsible when they're here. So the ARPA investments made that possible. We hope to continue that in the future. It's going to depend a little bit on our budget, but obviously we want people when they get here to be respectful, because our focus is really about the people who live here in our communities and quality of life. So it's not just about the money, it's about maintaining quality of life, and that's a big focus for us. So that's really, really broad-based look at where we're at and where we're going. So Maya, if there's anything I can answer, I'm happy to do it, or we can pass it over to Janine.
Yeah, if there are questions for Rob or Janine, go ahead and put them in chat, and then we'll pick them up when you guys are done. Janine, what would you like to add to this?
You know, I guess I'd like to add that, you know, last year we had so much pent up demand, and people were limited in traveling internationally. So in terms of having that leisure traveler coming into our market, we are seeing a slowdown of the pace. You know, from an economy perspective, I still believe travel's strong, and you read that in all the and you read that in all the trades. But as Rob mentioned, it's that incidental expenditures that are really hurting, and people are pulling back, and it affects our smaller businesses. Group travel, definitely love our groups. They stay longer, they spend more money, they support our local businesses. They never get in a car and drive while they're here. And we've been very fortunate with our group business coming back to the community, and we're seeing that getting stronger and stronger. So that's fantastic. One of the things that we are concerned about in the industry is the other destinations throughout California are outspending us significantly in terms of trying to bring people into their communities. We are, Rob, second from the bottom in terms of spend out there in terms of all. So we have a lot of competition, and you kind of think about, why is everyone all of a sudden going to Portugal? Well, you see Portugal out there front and center, and see that advertised, and all of a sudden, you're talking to your friends, and it seems like everybody's going to Portugal all of a sudden. Well, that is very calculated marketing that drives that business. So the community got together, and the hotel community got together and decided that we needed to step up our TID funding to increase the budget for the Convention and Visitors Bureau. It's about a year-long process to go through that. Effective July 1st, we'll be increasing our TID funding to help support the Bureau. But we still need our jurisdictions to continue to participate in their investment. If we step backwards there, we're just going to be back at ground zero. So it's extremely important that we continue to reinvest in hospitality. I always like to say that revenues are an infinite number, expenses are finite. Revenues infinite creates more revenue for our county and for all of our jurisdictions that rely on tourism, and that helps support, we all know our local government. We learned a tough lesson during the COVID era, and it's just important that we continue to reinvest in the future and focus. I think Rob has it spot on, travel responsibly and stay longer. It's not necessarily we want a ton more guests. We really want people just to come here and enjoy our community and stay longer.
Yeah, that's actually our theme song for the future is One More Night by Phil Collins. I sing it quite frequently. It keeps us focused.
But now we're all going to be singing it now that you've mentioned it. We do have a question for one or both of you. How many people are expected to travel to the Monterey Peninsula this weekend? And maybe not just the peninsula, there may be other hotspots, the wine corridor, in terms of tourism for this 3-day weekend.
So I can answer generally, and then Janine can talk about her hotel. I'll answer the question in terms of occupancy. Occupancy is obviously how many rooms of our nearly 12,000 rooms were occupied during last Memorial Day. We averaged over 70% occupancy countywide last year, and it peaked on Sunday at 86%, which is really good. The prior 2 weekends last year before Memorial Day, we were in the mid 50%. So there's a big jump in terms of occupancy. And then of course the room revenue and the food and beverage spend and all of that stuff that follows from there.
Yeah, Memorial Day always freaks me out because everybody waits till the very last minute to book. So we're all looking at our numbers going, okay, everybody, you better make those reservations. But literally people wait till the Thursday and Friday. I think they're checking their weather, checking their other options. And it gives you a heart attack every Memorial Day. Are we going to fill or are we not going to fill? So we'll see, but we're getting there.
One other thing that has come up when we've talked about tourism is staffing to be able to provide the services that people want. And there's a little bit of a lag getting all the staff back, in full force. Are there any staffing issues that are preventing full service?
Well, I'll answer it again generally, but this is definitely, Janine can dig into the details. In 2022, the overall number of people who worked in hospitality was a little over 25,000. In 2019, it was nearly 28,000. So there's still a bit of a glut in terms of return to work for the industry overall.
Yeah, I think that the segment that's most hardest hit is the restaurant segment, and people have changed their business plans. I mean, so the operations have changed. You're not open, maybe 7 days a week. I can use Peter B as an example. We're open 5 days a week. I don't operate lunch anymore at the hotel. I encourage people to go out in the community and support our other local restaurants. But it really is the smaller businesses at this point that are heavily hit in terms of staffing.
Any last words you'd like to share with us this weekend besides drive responsible and one more night?
Yeah. We definitely want to punctuate those things. And I think overall, the future is very optimistic, but we have to go get it. We got to make it happen. And a lot of that is in our hands as an industry and with the collaboration that we have with the cities and the county that we work with.
Thank you both very much for being on to talk about this. And we really crossing our fingers for a great Memorial weekend throughout the county.
Agreed. Thank you.
Thank you for having us. We appreciate it.
Thank you. We had on our schedule MST. I'm hoping that MST can hold off for just a second. We want to bring on Bryan Flores, who is our Chief of Parks. He's got another meeting to attend to, and we want to get him on with information about this a new device that is now in hand at our county lakes that is a search and rescue device. And it's great to have with so many people coming to the lakes for the long holiday weekend. Hi, Bryan.
Hi, Maya, and you did it. You didn't call me the director. So, hello, everyone. Yes, we have a very exciting new device that hopefully, with its use, will be able to save lives and bring closure to families that have lost a loved one to a drowning or water-related incident. On last week's board meeting, a resolution was presented to Clinica de Salud, who purchased these Aqua Eye devices, and it is a handheld sonar. See if I can do this here. Handheld sonar. Water rescue teams in searching for either drowning victims or recovery of individuals who have suspected to have drowned. So I was contacted by Supervisor Lopez's office regarding this this donation. The Parks Division of the Public Works Facilities and Parks Department received one of these devices, as well as Monterey County Sheriff and also San Luis Obispo County Sheriff's Department, who assist with water patrols at Lake Nacimiento during the busy season. So these devices will be able to assist our either water rescue teams, our park rangers, park staff in locating and recovering individuals who are drowning or who have drowned. And it is unfortunate when there is a drowning situation, and unfortunately, most of the time it is days, weeks, months before any type of closure is brought to the situation with family members. This device will hopefully be able to shorten that timeline down and provide closure in a matter of, hours to days. It can also be used to aid in the rescue of individuals who are drowning. If there are safety personnel on site, our rangers will carry this device when they're patrolling the lakes. And if there is a call for a rescue event and they're able to get there in time, this device could be beneficial in providing a rescue for that individual and resuscitating them if needed. I'll put in the chat box a link to the Aqua Eye website that has a video that you can use to see how the device works. The device can scan an acre of water in just under a couple of minutes. And so, if you're talking about a drowning situation, seconds, minutes matter to ward off, brain damage or respiratory malfunction, things like that. So if we're able to get there in time, it would be greatly beneficial. It has artificial intelligence built into it, so it's able to recognize a human body versus a tree stump or some other type of submerged rock or something like that. So we're very excited to be putting these in place, and hopefully they'll be able to save lives or bring closure to families who have lost a victim to drowning.
These are those devices that sometimes you hope you'll never have to use them. What would you, we've got a big holiday weekend coming up. The lakes are going to be really full. What can you tell people about really water safety so that nobody has to come and rescue you?
Yeah, most definitely be safe. Wear your life jacket. Do not, boat under the influence of drugs or alcohol. Our rangers will be out there, making contacts with people on an average year. Our rangers have about 70 boating incidents that require some type of medical aid, whether it's somebody falling off the back of the boat and getting their thigh cut open by the prop, to somebody getting caught between two boats when they're trying to go between two boats and crush between those two boats. There's all kinds of things that can happen when you're out on the water, especially for people who don't have a lot of experience operating boats, or their first time boat owner, or they rent boats. So always wear your life jackets. Don't boat under the influence. And observe all safety related signage. The signage is out there for a reason. There are submerged obstacles that are always present in the lakes, whether they're sandbars, boulders, rocks, logs. Right now, after we've had all this rain and the lake levels have come up very quickly, there could potentially be submerged logs that are partially submerged, that are not floating, that staff have not seen. So you always want to stay in the main channels if you're boating, stay away from the marked off areas, and enjoy your time. We love everybody coming out the lakes, and it's so great that we have water, a lot of water. Lake Nacimiento is roughly 95-96% full right now. San Antonio Lake is about 70% full. So there's a lot of water, a lot of areas that have not seen water in many years. So people are excited to get back into the coves and the points and things like that, and just be very careful and observant of your surroundings.
Thank you very much, Brian. It's great to see those devices in hand.
Yep, thank you.
And last, but of course not least, we are very pleased that Ikuyo Yoneda-Lopez was able to wait until the end to talk about the MST trolley. It must be because the trolley is back on the peninsula, and Ikuyo is going to tell us how it works and then give us some other information about bus schedules for the holiday.
Hi, everyone. Good afternoon. Nice to be here. Thanks for having me. Yes, it's trolley time. We like to call it around here. It's exciting. It's kind of the kickoff to summer, and everyone knows that they hear those bells and they know the trolley's arrived. So service will start Saturday, and will operate from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. every day, and it will run through Labor Day. So you'll, see it all around downtown Monterey. It starts at the Monterey Transit Plaza, and it'll take you all the way to the aquarium. So it goes through downtown Monterey to the wharf, and then ends up in on Cannery Row and at the aquarium, and it'll loop back and bring you back to downtown Monterey. So a great way to avoid parking, congestion, traffic, and kind of help our environment too. Tourists love it, residents love it. It's free. It's a quick way to get around. So I encourage everyone to check it out starting this weekend. The other change is minor, but to some impactful. So our service to CSUMB from Salinas has been suspended because of the summer. School's out of session. So that service has been suspended, but will resume on August 21st when students are back. So be aware of that. Something else I wanted to kind of throw out there is our SURF project is having a transit fair family fun day. We're going to be sharing with the community information about our project and all the benefits it brings. So join us at the Marina Transit Exchange on June 10th from 10 to 2. So we look forward to seeing people out there to learn about the project and just kind of our vision for transit in the county. So, yeah.
So who loves the trolley more, the locals or the tourists? Because it's really great.
You know what? I think it's about the same. I've used it since I was much younger, just to ride it around the area. I mean, it's just fun. It's free and it's super quick. You can, avoid so much traffic and headaches, and the kids love it. I think everyone loves it. So you look forward to it on the 27th.
Thank you. And we did have a question that came in. Is there an existing bus route that would pick up in Pajaro or Watsonville area and then drop off in downtown Monterey?
There's no direct route. Actually, right now, boardings in Pajaro are free through MST through June 30th. So you can board anywhere in Pajaro, but only for boarding. To get to downtown Monterey, you'd have to take the bus to Salinas, to the Salinas Transit Center, and transfer onto the line 20, which will take you to Monterey. There is a way. It's a little bit, it's not direct, but there's a way.
All right, thank you. And thanks very much for sharing this information with us. And we hope you guys are having a great summer, a great holiday weekend, this coming weekend as well, and that the trolley is super busy.
Yeah, we hope so. We're really excited. Yeah, let's get out there and enjoy it.
Thank you. And thanks everyone for joining us on the news briefing this week. We'll see you at our next briefing.
Thank you.